Hello, welcome Kirsten to No Rest for the Weary podcast. It's so lush to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to our conversation today. I love your podcast.
Oh, thank you. We've already had, we were both sitting in different virtual rooms in the online, just looking for it. But the university decided we're recording on Zoom today, which is brilliant, and we're here and we're ready. I'm very excited. Introduce yourself, Kirsten. What are you here to do? What's your mission? How do you help people?
So my name is Kirsten Graham with Six Figure Business Coaching. I'm the co-owner of the company. And I guess I would have to say I'm here to boss people around. Not really. Brilliant. I have a pillow over there that says I'm not bossy. I have better ideas that my sister-in-law gave me. Yeah, no, I have always been self-employed and I've always had team members and staff. And one of the things I think my purpose here on earth is right now is to empower other business owners to learn how to delegate confidently, for them to learn that we lead people and we manage tasks. And so that I feel like is my passion. We help our clients outsource to the Philippines. And so now after all of these years, it's been 17 years since we've been outsourcing. I feel like I've seen the impact of how a virtual assistant over there working for a really good boss over here, how it changes their lives. It gives steady income. It gives them the opportunity to grow in their job. It allows them to help provide for their families. So that's the other side, is I have this heart for helping these people who are hardworking and smart and live on these islands that just don't have as much opportunity, to have them go to work for someone who treats them really well. And then of course, they help that business owner grow.
Oh, I love that. Have you been out to visit anybody that you've helped in the Philippines?
I have not. It is on the list of things to do, but life gets so busy, So Jeannie's, her second child goes up to college, not next year, but the year after. So then her life will slow down a little bit. And then that's something we have talked about wanting to do, is go over and spend like a month, because, the Philippines are 7,100 islands.
Yeah.
And so we have team members, across the entire country. So it'd be nice to go and spend time and see them. And yeah, but it's amazing just to get to do what we do. Even like you were talking about, you were in Riverside and I was on Zoom waiting. Like, this technology did not exist when we first started outsourcing.
No, it is incredible, isn't it? One of my clients runs a travel company in the Philippines and does tours, and they are incredible. And the business gives back to the schools, so the profits go to build the schools in the Philippines. So if you need any tours,
I will definitely reach to you.
Yeah,
I want that connection for sure.
So tell me the business love story. How did it all begin?
Boy, that's a windy, windy road. How much time do we have?
You have as much time. I love a windy road story. It's my favorite. I wish I had a cuppa now so I could just sit.
So my background is actually real estate. I got my real estate license in the late 80s. I started selling real estate. I eventually moved to the mortgage side and went on to own a mortgage company and a title company. And I love everything about real estate. Real estate investing, I still love everything about real estate. But, it's definitely a business that keeps you location bound.
Right.
And so one of my goals at some point in my life was to be able to live anywhere. And that all kind of happened by accident, I guess is the way I would say it. I did a lot of loans for self-employed people, and I was very involved in networking, BNI, the chamber. So I was always out and about, and I would do loans for self-employed clients, and I would see their business tax returns and their personal tax returns. And that's very intimate, like they're giving you all of this information. And later they would call and say, hey, can I take you to lunch and pick your brain? And I think it was because they just knew that I kind of knew their numbers and things like that. So I mentored other entrepreneurs for about a decade. So I did that and loved doing it, loved helping other business owners. And I eventually started taking on business clients in 2007, which was interesting because we had no idea what was going to happen in 2008. So I slowly but surely just started taking on coaching clients. And again, with zero plan, zero intention of what it would turn into, but just helping people. And so, our business did survive. Our mortgage company and title company did survive 2008. I always say we were thriving. We were surviving. We were not thriving.
Yeah.
My mom was also terminally ill with cancer. And so she was at the end of that battle. And in 2013, I just decided, I wanted to spend the last 6 months or so with her. And so I ended up closing my mortgage company and title company. And then I had the coaching practice and I was able to spend time with my mom. She actually passed away in April. So I really am glad I took that leap of faith and months with her. But yeah, and then from there, it just grew. Jeannie was actually one of my coaching clients, and she is, she loves marketing and she's brilliant with marketing. And I was helping her, and her business grew really quickly. And this is back, oh my gosh, this is back when Facebook first had fan pages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was back when local businesses, online businesses knew about like blogging and email marketing.
Yeah.
This was all very new to local businesses. So she did some classes to teach business owners, what is a blog and what is email marketing? And so what happened after that, after she taught those classes, was she got very busy very quickly. And at that time, you didn't really know how to price the services. So she was probably undercharging. But we went on to talk about outsourcing. And I said, would you be open to outsourcing overseas? I've never done it, but I read about it. I will, if you'll help me. And I was like, okay. So we kind of went on this journey of helping her build her marketing agency with virtual assistants. And that worked out really, really well. I continued, my one-on-one coaching practice. And then things have changed a lot, right? I think back, 20 years ago, someone else really could easily do your marketing. But now with social media marketing, we have to show up as ourselves, right? We have to be in the content. We are the content.
Yeah.
So it made sense for her to shift. And so that's when we really partnered. And I guess we kind of look at ourselves as marketing and outsourcing specialists. Her emphasis is on marketing and mine is on hiring and training virtual assistants, providing systems and processes to lead them by, and then helping our clients step into that CEO role and learn how to manage a virtual team. Little wide.
Yeah. What do you love most about what you do? Obviously you've spoken about what you give to the people that are in the agency. What bit of the work do you love the most?
Okay. So what's interesting, Claire, is we're not a marketing agency and we're not an outsourcing agency.
Mm.
We are truly coaches and virtual assistant trainers. So what happens is our clients actually have the virtual assistant works directly for them rather than paying an agency for that person. And strategically, there's a reason for that. What we have found really early on was when someone takes on a team member and they're paying them on the 15th and the 30th, and they're the ones who are leading that person, it shifts everything for them. Things I wasn't expecting to hear were things like, I feel like a real business owner now that I have my marketing virtual assistant.
Yeah.
Or, I had no idea how much I was beating myself up every day because I couldn't get it all done. And there was just physically no way. Or, I didn't realize how isolated and lonely I was in my business. And now having this virtual assistant that I meet with a couple of times a week, and we're collaborating on my content, and she brings just amazing visuals to all the content that we create. So we're both very excited about it. And it's given me a new energy in my business. And then the other thing that I thought was really powerful was we had a client, he had really big dreams, right? But what was amazing is he said after he got her up and running and was really creating the content, he realized he could build a business 10 times bigger than he ever imagined. So that's what I love, is empowering business owners to realize you didn't start a business to be self-employed. You started to build a business. And that really is about leverage. It's about leveraging technology and automation. It's about leveraging people, great talent on your team. So I do love seeing our clients have those amazing aha moments.
And it is quite a difficult process. I'd say it's an uncomfortable process to understand what you have to let go of in order to grow. Do you support your clients to move through that? Because it must be, I know because I've done it myself, like bringing people into my team. Your business is so important to you. It gets a bit scary giving it to other people, doesn't it? Okay, you can let go and you can do that if you want.
Right. Well, I feel like I think there's several reasons why people fail when they try to outsource. One of the reasons is they don't understand cultural differences. So we coach both the virtual assistant and our clients on cultural differences. Most business owners never create standard operating procedures or workflows. So they don't document how they want things done. So that makes it very hard to delegate. And then there's a lot of frustration. You always hear, oh, if I have to spend this much time training them, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's so sad. And I get that, because when we first started outsourcing, there were times when we definitely wanted to give up, right? We're a
Yeah.
little bit too stupid to give up. So I like to say, if it could be done wrong, we did it wrong probably more than once. But what we really focus on is marketing outsourcing. And the reason for that is the clients that we work with, a lot of them are not super tech savvy. So they're really happy to have a virtual assistant that will take care of their video editing and their audio editing and all of their graphic design and their social media management and their email marketing. So a lot of them really don't have a problem handing that off, because it's things they generally don't like doing. And then the clients who do love posting on social media, we explain to them like that, you don't have to stop doing the posting that you're currently doing. We just want to help you integrate an evergreen marketing strategy into your content, where you're creating content that's going to work for you years and years and years, and it's SEO rich, so people will actually find you. So it really is interesting that most of our clients are happy to delegate the things. I do feel like a lot of business owners, they have this thing, well, I need to know how to do it to tell them how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never even logged into our Canva account. I don't need to know how to edit a video to tell someone who knows how to edit a video what I like and dislike. Oh, I love that transition. I don't like that transition because it's too fast or it's too jerky, and that's not my style. Or, here are my brand colors, stay on brand with my colors. Oh my gosh, that you did a great job on the video, but that piece of B-roll that you chose had a lot of men in suits. So they look more corporate. Most of our clients are women, and the men that we do work with are not going to be wearing suits. They're generally business owners, so they're going to be more casual. So find images or B-roll that has, maybe 20 to 30% men and the rest women. So I can coach someone on what I want my content to look like without needing to know how to do it. And I think that's the difference in being an entrepreneur and being a business owner. I think as an entrepreneur, you have a vision and you have the ability to communicate that vision. And I think sometimes when you just start a business and you're afraid to let go of anything, it's really you're more of a self-employed person. And I think that's a challenge we all have to challenge ourselves with is, did I start this to do everything myself forever? Or did I start this to really grow a business? And that requires growing ourselves and being confident and comfortable delegating.
Have you read the book, The E-Myth by, that's what it reminded me, because of being, when you're in either entrepreneur, manager or technician role. And I love that and when he talks about the manager role, you have created a business to be employed by it and what comes with that. And when you actually step back and you can see that actually potentially you're doing that out of fear and not embracing your zone of genius, because the expectations and the busy work that you are keeping hold of when you don't need to are stopping your growth.
Yes. And again, I think it's scary because when most people start a business, they have to do everything. They're doing their own bookkeeping, they're doing all of their own technology. But if you think about it, like, I love coaching and I love doing podcast interviews. And luckily I get to spend most of my days talking to people about our programs or interviewing people for our podcast or being interviewed. So I get to spend most of my time doing what I love doing. And that keeps me really excited about the business. It's how I can serve people the best, by doing what I do really well and what I love doing. And then having other people, I think that's the other side of it, is our clients realize that even though they don't like doing something, we think if we don't like doing something, someone else doesn't like it, right? But when they hire virtual assistants and they see these, people light up about the excitement of the video that they've edited or the graphics that they found or the designs that they created for social media posts, it's exciting to know that you're employing someone else to work in their unique genius. And you're giving them an opportunity to bring what they, their great gifts to the world. So I think once they understand that, it changes everything.
Yeah, that's and that is so incredibly correct, because I know when I used to outsource things to my VA when she first joined the team, when I first hired her, and she would love to do the things that I just, oh my God, just so tedious. But it is also just recognizing your zone of genius and embracing it, isn't it? I just love that. And when you started on your social media journey, how did you transition? Because obviously your other business was born in a time when it was. I mean, I know my first business, Instagram didn't exist. It just didn't happen. It was me going out and, selling and stuff. How did you transition yourself from that old model to the more modern model?
So because Jeannie was one of my coaching clients in 2006 and 7, she actually encouraged me to start creating YouTube videos for my mortgage company, which we
Oh, brilliant.
and yes. And to be honest, my very first video was done out of complete frustration because I would talk to a client and I would say, "Hey, Claire, I need your last 2 W-2s and I need, you know, 3 months of bank statements and I need all the pages because, the underwriter doesn't know that page 7 is blank." And I would go through and give you this very detailed list and conversation. And then I would email you a checklist again with kind of that detailed conversation. And then when people bring back their loan documents, they would bring back partial documents, right? They wouldn't bring everything in. And that meant my processors had to chase them. It also made them feel like even though we asked for in the beginning, it makes them feel like you're asking for more and more stuff when really you're just chasing them to get what you originally asked for. So my first video was so cheesy. It was like, "I need your W-2s," and W-2s popped up because I had an intern at the time that could figure out how to do that. "And I need your bank statements, all, 3 months of bank statements, all pages. And here's why, guys. I know you look at that page 7 and it's empty, it has nothing on it. But at the bottom, it says, 7 of, 1 of 7, 7 of 7. So the underwriter knows that there's another page that you didn't give them. And they don't know that sitting on page 7 isn't a, $1 million loan that you have, right? They don't know that. So we kind of had fun with it. But what happened was our document rate went up. So we started having the conversation with the client and sending them the checklist in the video. They came back with documents. And then we just started creating more videos. And I think this is where, when you talk about a content journey, like I'm not a person that lives out loud, right? So you're not going to see pictures of what I'm eating or, me hanging out on the beach very often or whatever. I occasionally try to share things, but that's just not me. I'm not a live out loud person, but I love educating people and I love helping people. So a lot of our content was things like, what's the difference in appraisal and a home inspection? Well, that's a great question if you're new to real estate. We did things like interviewing attorneys on things like, what is a 1031 exchange and how can someone use this to grow their wealth? So we did just a lot of topics. But what was fun was my dog was often in the videos. There was different loan officers creating content. And this is when the light bulb went off. It was like, have you ever had that aha moment and you're kind of like, this is freaking amazing and weird at the same time? Yeah. I would have a client come in and they're so familiar with me. They're like, "Oh, hey," and they're asking about my dog. And I'm thinking, how do I know them? Where did I meet them? Oh my gosh. I'm racing through my mind. You understand? You ever run? I know. Yeah. You're like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And you're like you almost start sweating. Like them. So I never met them. They just watched our video.
Yeah.
That was when the big light bulb went off. It's like, oh my gosh. So it has the same power, of, you and I are not in person. We're halfway around the world apart. But by the time we finish this conversation, I'm sure we'll chat again. We're going to know each other fairly well and feel, I'll be comfortable referring to you business and, want to invite you to our podcast. You get to know people even though you're not in the same room with them. And that was when I really understood the power of video. And so when it comes to helping our clients, get confident on camera, most of our clients are amazing at what they do and they're passionate about what they do. And they could talk and educate people all day long, but they don't want to live out loud. A lot of them, they're just not their thing, but they are very willing to create great, valuable content. And that's what we focus on.
And so when you're coaching them through that process of the difference between living out loud and social media, what kind of mindset reframes are you trying to get them to embody in order for them to move forward with that?
Yeah, so it's a great question. We work with a lot of coaches, but we also work with a lot of real estate agents. Since real estate's my background, I have the ability to help them with their topics and titles and tags and descriptions and things like that. So it was interesting because I met with a real estate agent yesterday and we were talking about, our program. And I met her in person because she lives here in Sarasota, Florida. And she pulls up her phone and she starts showing me like the content of this other real estate agent, it just bugs her, right? It just bugs her. And the person's probably 10, 15 years younger than us. And there was nothing wrong with her content, right? Nothing wrong with it. It was just not what my client would be comfortable doing. And it's not something she is drawn to. And it's, well, we don't have to criticize what other people do. I mean, that's probably working really well for her, but it doesn't mean that's the type of content you have to create. And so I think sometimes it's that fear, and I think we all know someone in our industry who's on social media and it makes you cringe every time you see them.
Yeah.
There's somebody, right?
Yeah.
And, but you form your own path. And again, so like I said, we really help our clients understand that when you're creating evergreen content for YouTube with keywords, you want to create content that is valuable. If someone finds you because they're living in Michigan and they're thinking about moving to Florida, you want to give them so much information and you want to educate them that when they reach out to book a call with you, they feel like they already know you. And most importantly, they like and trust you because you are their trusted advisor and you never ask for anything from them other than saying, hey, if I can help you, give me a call. And value and appreciate that you gave to them. Now they want to work with you. They want to have you sell them a house. So it's very powerful.
I think I feel like that definition of living out loud, I love that or that identity, because I feel like I'm the same, but it's when I'm showing up, I am still me. I'm just work me. I'm like, that sort of, it's not an avatar because it is who I am, but it's not the person I am like at the weekend. At the weekend I wear my glasses, wear hair up on my head, and I'm mum and wife and getting things done, but not like I'm just a completely different mindset for it. So when I'm like this, oh yeah, definitely. But you're right. Like, you don't have to share every single moment of your life to get people to trust you.
Right. Yeah. And I think, Jeannie and I always joke, like, we wish we were funny, but we're not. So so it's really, we always joke about different things about like, oh, I wish we were this, like very casual, like in a funny way. But you have to bring who you are to your content.
Yeah.
So I have a little dog and I'll sometimes show pictures of her running on the beach, or last night I was at a real estate event, their holiday party for the Association of Realtors. And I will probably post a picture later today about that. So I don't mind posting some things about what I'm doing, but I don't think like, I look at people when they're out and they're constantly taking these pictures. I feel like I like to be more in the moment. If I'm having dinner with you, I'm having dinner with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on my phone. Now, if you said to me, hey, Kirsten, my son, he's what, 6? Was that right?
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. So they thinking, okay, well, he's at the sitter tonight, but he wasn't feeling well. So I want to keep my phone here just in case.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense to me, right? You've got a child, you may have to leave dinner because, he's not well. So there are reasons why people need to have their phone accessible, but I just don't enjoy being with people that the entire time you're with them, they want to take selfies with you.
Absolutely. When I'm out, I never take any photos. It's been, I turned 40 in a couple of weeks. And so all of my best friends, we're all turning 40. So we've all got these parties and events. And then I'm like, I haven't taken any photos. I don't even know where my phone is when I'm dancing, And at the weekend, I very often just turn it off.
Right.
And I love that because I feel my phone, I'm going into that world of Narnia, go and do my business thing, go and help all these people. And then I turn it off, recharge, come back out on a Monday, and I love that. Do you feel that where people struggle with those kinds of things, that's coming from imposter, that comparisonitis that some of us find ourselves in, which I feel can be completely healed. Definitely, like you can get over that. But that feeling of discomfort and getting yourself out of your comfort zone as you learn new things, for you, now you've been self-employed for, majority of your life, your whole life. And that, I just love that you just, that you stepped into that. I'm like, this is a bit of me. I'm going to stay in this mode. How does doubt and those thoughts still appear for you, or is it something that?
Yeah, I think you're always going to have imposter syndrome to a certain extent, right? I just think that's part of being normal. It's a fear, right? We all have fear of rejection. We have fear of failure. You know, it's kind
Fear
of
of success.
bring it. Yeah, if I don't bring in business, I don't eat kind of thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of pressure there at times. But I think that the number one thing that I think helps us and our clients get over that is, do you really have a heart to serve people?
Yeah.
And accepting the fact that the way I look on camera is the way I look in person. Yeah. Like, my hair's really flat today, right? But you did your friend. If we meet in person, like, I talk with my hands. My grade says, I would love to see you sit on your hands to see if you can have a conversation. I don't think it can happen.
No.
But if you're going to see that I'm the same person.
Yeah.
That's what I think people have to accept. And it's really hard. A couple of the women that I were with yesterday are a little bit older than I and a little bit heavier than I am, right? And so that was what they were talking about, is how hard it is to get comfortable on camera when you feel, you're overweight and you don't feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And, but again, it goes down to the majority of the people you work with may be overweight, right? I know it sounds kind of crazy, but, yes, you may work with some really fit and healthy people, but the average American's overweight.
Yeah.
Sometimes if that person's moving to Florida and they see this real estate agent who's their age and maybe a little bit overweight like they are, they may connect with you more, right? There's a lid for every pot. And so showing up as yourself and accepting who you are and where you are, and I think, a lot of times, have you ever watched a show that has, maybe a new actress on it, and the show gets more and more popular, and then you see them get so thin, they're almost anorexic?
Yeah.
Right.
That has happened recently to some. I was watching the two actresses from Wicked, where they're doing the show. Like, you can see them losing weight, doing all of the media.
Yeah. And so, women obviously have a lot of pressure to look good. But at the end of the day, unless you plan on really getting serious and losing weight, like in the next 6 months, so you can show up on camera, just show up as who you are now. You're going to attract clients who are your ideal clients. Somebody who wants to work with a, real estate agent that's 25 years old, this skinny and has a million selfies. That's not your client anyway. They're going to find that real estate agent and work with them, and it's going to be a great fit. So I think it's also just having a heart to serve. I think if you really, really, truly want to help people, then you'll do whatever it takes to get in front of them.
Yes, exactly. There's two things that, from what you were saying, is one, it's this pressure as well that the outside of you is the thing that makes you beautiful, when it's actually your mind and your heart. Like, that's what really makes you beautiful, and that we all have human faces. There was a point of view when I would not show up, or if I did show up without any makeup on, I would say, sorry, I haven't got any makeup on. And I corrected myself. It was a few years back, and I just thought, no, this is my human face. Why am I apologising for my lovely face that does all these beautiful things for me? The poor face, like getting beaten up every day, and it's just helping me to smile and helping me to see. But another thing is that it's not even about us. No one actually cares about us, what we look like, as long as when they are listening or watching us, it makes them feel good, whether that is inspiration, motivation, education, all of those things. If they're watching and they have a feeling, that's what they buy into. It's not nothing to do with what you look like.
Exactly. And I think that, especially when it comes to real estate, I keep bringing up that topic, but a lot of times when you're creating content around real estate, you're talking about the lifestyle. You're talking about this gated golf community and what it's like to live at this golf community that has very active clubhouse and tennis courts and pickleball. So you're talking about the lifestyle and the activities. And so if someone, is your age and maybe, again, a little bit out of shape, and they see you talking about all these activities, and maybe you say, yeah, I play pickleball twice a week, they think, wow, that person's doing it, I can do it too. I can move there and live my best life and be active and be outside. Because again, that person really isn't thinking about you on a conscious level, but subconsciously that thought might happen. Again, it wouldn't be conscious, I don't believe. I think it would be subconscious.
Yeah.
But what you're signaling to them and what you're telling them is, I have this beautiful life, and if you want to move here, you can have this life too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And that is the power of marketing, that what you're creating is a scenario that your dream buyer, client, customer, can put themselves into it and imagine themselves there. And if you can get that and they're feeling good,
Right.
the money's coming in.
Right. I may have a 10 o'clock. Let me see. Sorry. I just realized we're a little over 10. My next one's 11. Okay, sorry. Hopefully you edit this. I just had a panic because someone was texting me. No one ever texts me. And so I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's 10 after 10. Am I missing a meeting? Little heart attack there.
All good.
Those.
But yes, absolutely. I literally was recording something yesterday and I was like, I think I'm supposed to be somewhere. Oh no, I'm all right. I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. So with your success, that you must have had so many success stories of working with people. What's your favorite, without having a favorite client, but your favorite success story where your business has really made a lasting transformation?
Okay, so I'm going to stay on the theme of real estate and then I'm going to switch over to coaches.
Cool.
So we worked with a real estate agent who's had a YouTube channel for about 2 years and her videos are great. She just hadn't gotten any traction on it. She reached out to us, it was either 5 or 6 weeks after having her virtual assistant. She had 3 people reach out to her who found her on YouTube. 2 of them came and looked at properties with her and 1 of them went under contract.
Wow.
So that's the power of SEO, search engine optimization. That's the power of having someone do all the things on your videos to get them to show up when people are looking. So that was really powerful. We also work with a lot of coaches and consultants, and one of our coaches is a erectile dysfunction coach. And so very niche industry, very unique topic. She was very, she's beautiful, but like everybody else, she was a little self-conscious about getting on camera initially. So within about, I want to say the second month of having her virtual assistant and everything up and running, she doubled her business. And by the 3rd month, she thought she was going to triple her business. So that blew my mind because that's unusual, right? It's very unusual for that to happen so quickly. And I want to explain why it happened. She had a very large email list. And what people don't realize is when you create a video, an evergreen video, you now have this amazing piece of content that you can use in a lot of different ways. You can break it up for social media. You can have AI rewrite it as a blog post. There's all kinds of things. But one of the things we really encourage our clients to do is send out their video to their email list and make sure in the subject line that they know that there's a video in there. So whether you put the little red dot or you put video in parentheses, so your open rate will go up. Promise you, people will open your emails. You'll see your open rate go up, and then they'll watch your videos. So for her, I don't necessarily think it was new people finding her right away off of YouTube. I think what happened was she had people on her email list, and she'd been communicating with them for a long time, via texting, copy, writing email. But when she put those videos in and that person got to hear her talk and talk about what she does and how she does it and why she does it, right? So that's where I think most of her business initially came from. But, again, if you are having, trouble in that department and maybe you're married and you're stressed, you might be up late night searching that topic. And if you find her video, you're very likely to reach out and want to work with her. So for different people, the success of the confidence, once they actually start creating videos and they see what their virtual assistant can do with editing, their confidence goes up. We have so many people that say, oh my gosh, I've recorded this video 4 times and I just decided to give it to my virtual assistant and just start the whole process. And then they get that video back and all the ums are out and all the mistakes are out and B-rolls in it and images are in it. And they're like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. Like, this is something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a huge win for a lot of people is when they realize that having this magic wand of a virtual assistant in the background, making your content look good is huge. And then the other thing is too, just seeing them step into that power of being the CEO and understanding that they can delegate to someone who gets to do what they love doing. And it's a win-win for everyone. So I think those are the wins. It's just that type of thing.
I love that. I love those stories. I mean, the coach, the erectile dysfunction coach, that must have been so significant because it's such a vulnerable topic and you're breaking down those barriers. And I mean, this helps with every business, but specifically for that niche where you're breaking down the barriers where they like feeling so self-conscious. Maybe they haven't got the bandwidth to even read, but they could watch a video. It's so much easier for your mind to just click and watch, and we're all programmed to do that. So I love that. That's so powerful.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, obviously Google owns YouTube.
Yeah.
And YouTube had us start adding chapters to our videos, which kind of tells you what what you're talking about at each section of your video. And the reason they did that is because Google serves up more and more videos now. I don't know when the last time you did a Google search was, and all of a sudden, after all the sponsored ads, up came videos.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is YouTube and Google are both ads platforms. They make money from ads.
Yeah.
And Google knows that you'll stay on a video longer than you will on an article. So it makes sense for them to send you to YouTube where they're going to make more ad money.
Right.
So that's what they put chapters in. So I don't know if you've ever noticed, but sometimes if you click on the video, it takes you to the part of the video that answers the question you typed into the search bar. So I think the way the technology is changing is incredibly powerful as well.
And that is a very good tip for my videos, because the SEO needs to be in the chapters too. My chapters are there, but am I weaving in enough SEO? I'm down an SEO rabbit hole at the moment. I'm calling it my NASA mode, so that I need to every tiny little thing to do with SEO, I'm tightening up. Kirsten, I've loved chatting to you today. This has been absolutely glorious.
Thank you.
What am I saying? I was just feeling so grateful then. I lost my train of thought. Where can people find you before I ask you the 10-year question?
So I have a free gift for your audience. It's called Double Your Income with a Marketing Virtual Assistant. And you can get that at outsourcingforbosses.com. Outsourcingforbosses.com.
I will definitely put that, outsourcingforbosses.com. I will put that in the show notes. That's really, really lovely of you. Do you hang out on Instagram or anything like that?
I really don't. There's content out on Instagram, but I really don't hang out on Instagram. I'm probably more on LinkedIn than anything else.
Okay, cool. So what do you wish you had known 10 years ago that you know now?
So again, we work with a lot of coaches and consultants. And when I moved from Virginia to Florida, and I had stopped, obviously I wasn't in the mortgage business, which was, again, a very local business. And I was actually coaching. I really leaned into being in the online space, probably to my detriment, because I could spend all day in Zoom, creating content, those types of things, having meetings online. And I think I really missed out on getting out and networking and meeting people, but also helping local businesses. So I decided a few years ago, really after COVID, my life didn't change during COVID because I was not going out anyway. I was mostly inside working, but I ended up deciding that I just wanted to get out and do more things, join chambers, get involved in female networking groups and doing some more charity work. And what's been impactful is that we've picked up so much local business. And sometimes we forget that there are people in our own backyard that really need our help. They really need our service, because sometimes we get so sucked into being online. So one of the things I talk with coaches about is, yes, you want to create evergreen content, but if you live in a halfway decent sized city, there's $1 million of revenue in your own backyard. Just go talk to people.
God, yeah. The power of conversation, eh?
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much, Kirsten. This has been absolutely wonderful. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you. We'll do a pretend goodbye. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill, and music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vick.